free impression night. My name is Wendy Heron. I'm a senior division leader here at Park Lane, and I'm so excited for you to join us. I'm going to show you probably the main reason that you're here is to see some gorgeous bling, and not just see it, but win some gorgeous bling, right? So I want to be able, I'm going to see if any of you want to join me off camera besides Nicole. I'd love to see your beautiful faces, but you don't have to be. It's not a requirement. But look at all of these amazing impression bracelets. The person that invited you here tonight, I would love it, first of all, if you would tell me the words sparkle and tell me where you're from. I'm tuning in from Cape Cod, Massachusetts tonight, and it was a beautiful day here. It was in the low 60s, or I'm going to say 50s. I'm not even going to say low 60s, but this is like spring to us, so we're super excited. All right, so I'm seeing Texas. I'm seeing Florida. I'm seeing Sparkle, Salem. I love it. Salem, Arkansas. Look at all these incredible places. I want you to know tonight, first of all, go ahead and shout out the person that invited you. She saw something super amazing in you, either your heart or your desire to have something more in your life. Hello to all of my amazing Park Lane friends that are here. And I have to tell you, you're gonna see a little bunny back there, right? That my daughter put that there. My daughter is 21 years old and insisted that we still have like a stuffed bunny and a chick for Easter. So that's why you see that tonight. But I have to tell you that it is my pleasure to be here. And I was a little bit nervous because one of the things you're going to learn about me is I am a professional vocalist. And I was so nervous that I would not have a voice because, as you can imagine, during the week of Easter, I'm a music minister. I sang a lot. And so I did a lot of praying and I put myself on vocal rest so I could come tonight and share my story with you. True story. So we're going to get started. All right. So first of all, I'm going to show you one more time. I'll show these again before we finish, but later in this call, in this Zoom, Nicole is going to share a Google form with all of you. And I have to tell you that this was one of my most treasured things when I started as a brand new stylist because I'm obsessed with bling. So if you love bling, will you just say the word bling in the comments so I know that I'm not alone? Some people like dainty, some people like statement, some people like it all. Oh, I'm seeing some bling. Okay, so we have some people who like bling, which is great. And I'm going to try to not go crazy in the comments and look at the comments so I can get through everything and tell you. But remember, when you fill out the Google form, you'll have a chance to win. And I do have water next to me as well. So again, my name is Wendy Heron. We're here tonight, all of us, because we have one thing in common. Either we love someone that invited us here, we love Park Lane, maybe we've been a hostess, maybe we've not been a hostess, but we're interested in hearing a little bit more about this amazing opportunity. So I'm going to share from my heart. I do have notes because I want to make sure I cover everything. And at the end, I'm going to share a code word. And so you have to share that code word in the Google Doc, and for some of you, you'll have to share it with the stylist who invited you. So just make sure that you tune in, and you may have other directions that they give you to be able to earn maybe a different prize. Like it just depends. And so, but everybody is eligible to win one of these. Okay. All right. So let's see, where should I begin? Where should I begin? I am going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this amazing industry called direct selling or direct sales or network marketing. And then I'm going to talk about why jewelry. Like if you were to add an additional layer of income in this industry, why would you pick jewelry? Because I can tell you for me, the truth is I never in a million years thought about jewelry as a way to add an additional layer of income or fun even in my life. And then I'm going to tell you why Park Lane, like why Park Lane is so amazing. And then I am also going to tell you why now, like why today, why on April 21st should you think about doing this? Yes. your fellow impression lover, because you know your life's never complete without some form of bling. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. So I told you I'm from Sandwich, Massachusetts, which is a real place. We do have the Sandwich Police. I know that's kind of funny, but it's true. And it is a town that is on the island of Cape Cod in Massachusetts. So if you are familiar with Cape Cod, or have you ever been to Cape Cod, you can tell me Cape Cod in the comments. I love living on a small island. It is wonderful and beautiful. I'm about an hour away from Boston and about an hour and a half from Providence, Rhode Island. I've also lived in Florida and I've lived in Texas. So I've not just lived here. And I went to college and grad school in Vermont. So I feel blessed to have lived in a couple of different places in the country. And maybe one of those places is where you have lived as well. And I am married. I've been married to my husband, Lauren, for like 26 years. And I already told you I have a daughter who is 21. She is a senior in college, living the best life possible for the next 26 days. She graduates 26 days from today, and I'm super proud of her. She's a health science major and a dance minor, and beginning in September, she will be spending 10 months abroad in Ireland for a year of music ministry, following in her mama's footsteps in some ways. And she did tell me the other day, she goes, you know, it's so funny when I think about what you do. She goes, but maybe one day I'll sell jewelry too. And I was like, ooh. They watch what we do, so maybe she will. That would be super exciting. But the greatest joys in my life for sure are my faith and my family. And I think that's going to be a theme as we talk tonight, just about my own personal life. When I joined Park Lane, I had been out of this industry for 3 years. My background is I have my master's in education. I actually met my husband in graduate school, and I was working with college students. So I have my degree is specifically in higher education, student affairs administration. And I'd love to hear what you all do for a living in the comments, because I know, and nobody better say just a mom, because I was able to stay home with my business for my daughter and make a lot of life choices on that. So for me, like I can tell you, being a mom, if that is what you do full time, that's important. But maybe you're a caregiver, maybe you're a teacher, a nurse, you know, I'd love to hear what you do. Or a recruiter. I'm seeing all these amazing jobs. And so, you know, I feel like no education is wasted, no skill is wasted, and that I've taken from every like kind of facet of my life and brought it forward to like right here, right now. And so if you're like, I don't know, jewelry, like trust me, we're gonna chat about that tonight. Now, I started my journey in this industry. I was actually in the beauty industry for like more than 20 years. And I can tell you that I kind of stumbled into this industry. It wasn't something that I thought I woke up and went like I did about education. I didn't raise my hand and say, oh, I want to sell jewelry or I want to be in direct selling. And really, what direct sales is, it's a wonderful profession where you are directly selling, literally face to face or screen to screen, with another human being or with a group of people. And for me, I'm all about relationships, right? My love language is quality time. So, you know, I love moments like this where we can come together and learn a little bit more about each other. So in my direct selling experience, you know, I joined a company in my early 20s. It was a long time ago, you guys, in my early 20s. And I fell into the beauty industry. My mom was a tomboy. My dad was a lawyer. My mom got her education later in her life. So I knew that education was important and that I just did the things I was supposed to do, right? I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, and then I went out and thought I was going to change the world. And then my husband and I decided we wanted to stay home and have a family. And I thought, how am I going to do that? Because I was working 50 to 60 hours a week. And I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I thought, you know, my mom stayed home with us. And I didn't realize how important that was to me until I was like a grown, you know, a grown in my 20s, a late 20s, a grown woman, you know, married and preparing to have a family. And so for me, I knew I needed something that still I could like be around people, where I could contribute to our family, where I could potentially be the breadwinner, where I could, you know, make other new friends. and get out of the house. And so those things were really important to me, to have those interactions. And so that for me was kind of what my stepping stone to coming into this industry. And I didn't come in and I didn't like soar to the top right away or any of those things, because you hear all these amazing things. And I'm going to share with you about my success here in Park Lane. But I can tell you that I've only been in Park Lane, it'll be a year in May. Okay. So while I've been in this industry for almost 30 years, just 11 months in the jewelry piece of it. And if I can learn, you can learn, right? Because jewelry is such a simple category, as we're going to talk about. But my challenge at the time when I found Park Lane was so different than the one that I had in my early 20s. Okay. So my early 20s and 30s and 40s, as I moved to this industry, I learned that the most important thing for me was having a great home, finding a great company, having a great mentor, and being coachable, teachable, and trainable. So if that resonates with you a little bit, then hang on, because we're gonna go a little bit deeper into this. But 3 years ago, I exited the industry completely. I always have, like I said, sung professionally since I was 18, so it's always been a part of my life. Okay. And while that has been an amazing part of my life, I knew I needed more income. I never wanted to. I kind of play a game with myself. If this is you, tell me in the comments. But I wanted to not take away from our regular income, regular whatever was being deposited into the bank from, right, whatever, like traditional role, right, that my husband played, who's a pilot and an educator. He's a college professor. And I was like, that's that money. And I thought, so what I bring to the table, I want that to be the icing on the cake. I want that to be the extra. So maybe you're somebody who's like, oh, I want the extra to pay for college education for my kid. That was me. I wanted the extra to be, oh, we're going to take this trip or do this special thing. That was me. So I didn't want it to touch anything else. So I needed to, as I was coachable, teachable, and trainable, find the way to do those things. That, my family's always been like my drive and my motivator. And so that was super important to me as well. But when I stepped away from the industry, I retired. Okay. In my early 50s, I retired and said, I'm done with this industry. I'm not doing this anymore. Not because of anything other than like, I felt like I had great success twice in my life. Once with a brand new startup beauty company, which was my second foray in direct sales. But the first time I was in direct sales, I was over 20 years with the same company. So I knew the importance of a legacy company. Okay. And the second lesson I learned the second time I was in was just about like the bumps and bruises that can sometimes come with a startup and some of the things that come with that. But I can tell you that I was not looking for Park Lane. If you were the person not looking for Park Lane, if I could see your faces, I'd say raise your hand. But if you maybe you weren't looking for anything, go ahead and tell me in the comments. Like, Wendy, I'm on this call, but I'm not necessarily looking for anything. Because that was me. But and I'm laughing because I see me. Julie's like me. I'm looking at the picture of my mentor. She's here. She's dead right now. And she called me on the phone and said, I found something and you need to hear about it. And I was like, no. She's probably laughing. I was like, nope, I'm retired. I'm not coming to Park Lane, because I was at a crossroads. I was at a crossroads in my life. Here I am in my 50s now, and I was like, I'm going to be an empty nester soon. I just want life to be simple and fun. Who wants fun? Anybody want fun? I wanted simple and fun, and I wanted duplicatable. And I thought, I've worked really hard to go to the top of 2 companies. Really hard. But I don't mind hard work, but I wanted to have fun. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I wanted to have fun. And I thought, I don't know, jewelry. That was just my honest response. I didn't know about that. So, I think for me, I was like, let's see. So I was open enough to listen. So if you're here tonight, that says something about you too. It means that you're open and you're an educated woman willing to hear all the facts before you make a decision. So I applaud you. All right. So let's talk about why direct sales and why it's so amazing, because, you'll hear more about me as we go, but like, you've heard the important things. I'm a God's girl. I love my family. I'm happily married for a super duper long time. I've had success in direct sales, and my daughter has been a huge motivator to me. So, why direct sales? Flexibility. Like I told you, I couldn't continue to work 50 to 60 hours a week in my traditional job because there was no way I felt like I could do that and raise my family at the same time. And I think not you just so you know what's so unique about Park Lane, and this was very attractive to me, was that 90% of the women that are here, they work a full-time job. Like that is crazy to me. So they do Park Lane around the rest of their life. And that is so exciting to me. And that's what I've literally lived out this last week as I was pretty much in church in one form or another for the last 7 days. And I still worked my Park Lane business in the nooks and crannies, which was pretty exciting. The other thing is, and this is an important thing, is Park Lane and direct selling will provide you immediate income. Immediate income. Like you can start today and next week get paid. Like that's crazy to me. So if you're looking for a way to earn income very quickly, no matter what the need is, like maybe you need to buy a prom dress for your daughter, maybe you have a medical bill or something that you need to pay for, you can get started and start earning right away, which is amazing. The other thing, and this for me is probably the number one reason I decided to return to this industry, is that especially here in Park Lane, but in direct sales, and not all direct selling companies are created equal. I know this having been a part of two others, right? That this is a plug and play business. So what we have here, right here in this part of Park Lane, okay, we have something very special, and it is plug and play. So you're in business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. It probably sounds a little cliche, but it's such an honest thing. Like there are stylists on this phone. Shows I'm so old school. There are stylists on this Zoom who will never, would never have ever developed the close relationships that I have with them were it not for this business, were it not because it's so duplicatable, were it not because they're so amazing and giving and want me to be successful. Me 11 months ago, when I knew nothing about the jewelry industry, nothing about Park Lane, they took the time, if I reached out, to say, sure, Wendy, I'll help you. And that was a breath of fresh air to me because I can tell you in another company I was in, actually, the other two companies I was in, people were like, sure, we'll tell you how to be successful, but they never take me all the way there. So, what do I mean by that? So, we have plug and play systems. So, you can literally start today. And we have systems you can, if you're a reader, you can read it. If you need to see it, you can watch it. If you need to listen to it, we have that training too. And I've never seen something, it was like every question I started to have was built out. There was an answer. And I thought, this team is amazing. And so I'm telling you, like within Park Lane, this team is amazing. And I could literally still pinch myself. So you're going to have all the tools you need and everything you need to get started, and you can quickly become profitable. Now, do you have to work? Yes. But what are you doing? Look at this pretty thing that I have. Look at it. And y'all know how to put on bracelets, and you know how to put on earrings, right? And you all know how to put on rings. So it's like simple and fun. And that's what I needed. I needed simple and fun. And there's no other profession in the whole entire world that will give you something so plug and play and to help you be quickly profitable, like direct selling. So that's amazing. So why jewelry? I've kind of touched on some of those secret things, but let's talk about it. So it's simple and fun. It requires zero expertise. Could you get excited about not having to get your master's degree to sell Park Lane? Okay, that's how I feel about it. So anybody can do it. If you are 18 years of age, you can do this business. If you are 80, you can do this business. And that to me is so exciting. Jewelry is for everyone, right? And this was super shocking to me. Jewelry is a consumable product, and I did not know that. I thought I had to drink it or put it on my face and wash it off my face in order for it to be consumable. And this was huge for me, again, because I was open enough to listen, because that was one of my, I don't know. But jewelry is consumable. So since the beginning of time, and you'll have to tell me if you're one of these people. Women and men update their wardrobes. If you celebrated Easter, Passover, maybe you're going to a college graduation, I have summer weddings. I've been shopping. I'm like, oh, what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear? If you are that person, like you can update your wardrobe from time to time for something special, or if you're like, you know what, I have some beautiful things in my closet. Like I was excited. I just pulled out some of my spring things. So I pulled out my one of my jackets that I only wear this time of year. And I was excited. I'm like, you know what? I know what I'm going to I have these beautiful earrings from Park Lane that I'm going to wear with it. And so that's what's exciting about jewelry, because we're going to get new clothing and accessories, but we can also take that new jewelry and update our wardrobes, right? So it's consumable. It's going to be something that we can add on to update or bring something new to life. So it's super, super fun. Okay. The other thing I love is jewelry spreads joy. It absolutely spreads joy. Now, today I had on very simple jewelry. And tonight, when I was getting ready for this call, do you know how excited I was to like go grab some really amazing pieces of jewelry? Like I just felt so happy when I put them on. Like it literally made me happy. And I've seen women when they get their jewelry home, I am getting texts and calls, which never happened in the beauty industry. I'm not even kidding you. Like maybe I can count on one hand how many times people would reach back out and say, I looked so beautiful at that wedding, or you made me feel so beautiful. And that was special. But I mean, talking like every time somebody is saying, oh my gosh, I love this jewelry. I can't believe how beautiful it is in person, or I feel so beautiful. And that is a gift. That is a gift. So, because when you look better, you feel better, right? Right? And this isn't a fad diet. This isn't anything. You can just instantly feel amazing, right? And you want to help other people, at least I do, feel more confident. I mean, that's how I was as an educator, right? That's what that, even as a music minister, I want to make other people happy, right? And so it's so wonderful to be able to share jewelry and know that I'm changing somebody's life, right? It's amazing. So, and you're going to see that people just show up differently when they have their jewelry on, which is so fun. It's also a great conversation starter. Now, how many of you ever been somewhere and somebody complimented your purse, your shoes, maybe your outfit? Well, let me tell you, people always talk about jewelry. Like every time I wear these earrings, somebody talks about it. Lately, every time I've worn this necklace, somebody has talked about it. Anytime I have on a great arm party, somebody is talking about it. I just had a pedicure. Somebody came over and asked me about my jewelry. It's a great conversation starter. Okay. So, and I love because I'm a walking advertisement for my business. Even when I have to wear all black and I'm singing in church, I am making sure that I am Park Laneified. Okay. When I am singing in front of the entire congregation, because they're going to come over and they are going to compliment me. Right now, you don't have to be standing up in front of a lot of people. You can be walking down the aisle of the grocery store, and it is a compliment creator, a conversation starter. And if you work in a full-time job and you're out of the house, or even if just you work at home and you're on Zoom, isn't it so nice to think that somebody is going to notice the beauty that you are wearing, right? I love that. And it gives me an opportunity to share what I do. All right, so why Park Lane? Oh my gosh, this could go on for hours, but I promise you, I'll just talk about it for a couple of minutes. But why Park Lane? For someone that stepped away from the industry and came back, I knew that it had to be the most amazing. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna let Nicole handle that for some reason. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I can tell you that for me, when I stepped away, it had to be a legacy company to bring me back. It had to be somebody that was so enormously incredible, like a legacy company. So 70 years Park Lane has been around, that I felt like they've got me. They have a foundation that is so rock solid that they have me. Not something that might be crazy, that would be constantly shifting, that I wasn't sure. If you're in the direct selling industry, not Park Lane, but if you're in the direct selling industry, or you have know about the direct selling industry, right? You may have seen that sometimes things shift in this industry. It's constantly moving. But what I love about Park Lane is they know. They know what to do, and they do it so well. Not just the training, not just, the systems that we have built, but how they take care of us as stylists and how they take care of us as a customer. So, just so you know, Park Lane is the world's, and I have to make my hands like a globe, the world's largest and longest standing direct selling jewelry company. That is incredible. So they've been in business, like I said, for almost 70 years. We're going to celebrate our 70th birthday in August of this year. It's family owned and operated 3 generations. And it's the most generous and loving company that I've ever been a part of. Honestly, it is amazing. And actually, today I received something called Rich Rewards, which I'll talk about. But I was like, oh my gosh, it was $300 in jewelry just for doing my job for free. In addition to a paycheck, in addition to lots of other free jewelry that I earned. And so that's exciting to me. But it's a privilege to be here. And I hope that my goal is to stay until I don't want to work no more. This is my last hurrah. And I'm so proud to say that. So, one of the things that I love, and you don't have to tell me your age in the comments because women shouldn't always tell their age. I've told you mine ish. But what I want you to know is that our jewelry collection is incredibly diversified. If my 21-year-old daughter can get excited about our jewelry collection, and I put some in her Easter basket, it was one of the first things. The bunny was holding a Park Lane box. And she said, oh my gosh, Park Lane. And it was the first thing she took out. She could have grabbed the candy. She could have grabbed the bunny. She grabbed the blue, beautiful box that is Park Lane and was so excited. And it was a trio of earrings that we had. And she immediately was like, I'm wearing these today. And she's worn them now yesterday and today. Okay. So excited. And so if she likes it and I like it, and I know that women that are like my mom's age, right? My mom would have been 80 if she was still here. She would have loved some of the Park Lane pieces. So that way it's so diversified and it's so smart because we all love different things. Some love silver, some love gold, some love statements, some love dainty, right? Some love all the bling like we talked about in the beginning. So we are going to appeal to everyone, right? We're going to have something for everyone. And the other thing that's really important is there's just one thing that we do: jewelry. Whereas some other direct selling companies do a lot of different things. We do one thing and we do it in such a brilliant way. Okay. The other thing is Park Lane stands behind the quality of their products. This was another huge thing for me 11 months ago in thinking, should I come back to this industry? Because I needed to know that my stylist, as a stylist, I would be taken care of, that if I built a team here, they would be taken care of, right? And that my customers, first and foremost, because they're the bread and butter, they're the backbone of what I do. They're why I'm here, is really, right, to establish a customer base. And I needed to know that they were going to be taken care of. And so we have an unconditional guarantee, which your stylist can tell you more about. And maybe you've already shopped the guarantee. If you have shopped Park Lane before, go ahead and say shopped in the comments so I know that you already know how amazing we are, right? So alongside a lifetime warranty. Now, if you've shopped with us before, we have an everyday customer sale, 365 days a year, right? It's why people come back and shop again and again and again. Again, consumable. Like I've seen more women shop with me more than one time a month because they're so excited. And Park Lane, man, do they do a good job of enticing us with something new and beautiful. My stylist that I work with know I say there's always going to be something pretty because it's true. There's always going to be something pretty. And so every day you can shop and that you can, when you put 2 things in your cart, you can get 4 amazing things at half off, right? So that is an everyday customer sale. And we also have beautiful, incredible bonus items, and we have style drops and deals of the day. And so many things are available on a weekly basis. And so I know I get excited when I wake up as a stylist and see them, and then I get to share them with all of you, right? So that's exciting to me. I mentioned about how we treat our customers, and beyond the everyday customer sale, being a hostess. If you've been a hostess before, say hostess in the comments, because being a hostess, I have never seen a hostess program like this in any direct selling company. I've been to a lot of parties. Okay. And I've also hosted a lot of parties in the beauty industry. And then here I'm seeing hostess in the comments. That's exciting. And I will tell you that if you haven't been a hostess, definitely that you're going to be blown away by this, because when you have 10 friends shop your party, you can earn a $400 or more shopping spree. $400 or more. And so I know have had hostess receive 400, 500, 600, even $700 in free jewelry when they share with their friends. Because when we love things as women, don't we tell another friend? Right? And then you tell a friend to tell a friend. It's like the best game of telephone ever, because you want to make sure that people are shopping this incredible sale. Okay. So that's super important. Now, as far as our stylists are concerned, like if you're like, okay, Wendy, you've talked about like what about all these other things, but what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for me can be in it for you, because you can earn 30 to 50% on everything that you sell. Woo, Sarah, that is some good hostess credit, girl. $630, she just wrote in the comments. But imagine, I told you could start today and start earning next week. You can earn 30 to 50% on your personal sales. And if you choose to build a team, you can earn an additional layer of income on top of that as well. And as far as our perks, and this part's super exciting to me, personally, we have a rich rewards program. So I told you today I received a whole beautiful box of jewelry. It was a $300 credit that I earned. And we actually can earn up to $1,100 in jewelry every single month, in addition to our paychecks, in addition to our team commissions, and in addition to other rewards, free jewelry and other things, but up to $1,100. And so I can tell you, and I figured this out a few months ago, and now it's expanded even more, okay, which is crazy. But I have earned, I think it's probably over in 11 months, over $10,000 in free jewelry. That's not my paycheck. That's not any of the other perks. But can you imagine $11,000? What? That's insane. That's insane. So I'm really hitting that mark of what the free jewelry is every single month. And that is exciting to me. So it's really, really amazing. And then what do I do with that free jewelry? Well, I can build my jewelry collection, right? What I'm showing at my parties. I can give it away. Our own CEO talks about giving away our jewelry. Give it to a stranger, give it to someone in need. Actually, my stylists don't even know this. So my stylists are going to be like, what? Over this past week, right? Because I was in church a lot, praying a lot. And one of the things that came to me is, as I start to pray for people, or I find out people are going through something, I'm going to send them a love note, and I'm going to send them a piece of jewelry, because I get all this free jewelry. And so I feel really called to, if I can't help somebody, I can make them smile. And I can do that, and I can give what I have away. So like that for me, and I use them at my parties and I do giveaways, but I feel like really compelled to do that. So I just wanted to share that, because that's like new on my heart. But that when you get free jewelry, you can do whatever you want with it. You can keep it too. And every once in a while, I treat myself to a piece. Okay. Now, what else do we have? We have a Mercedes car plan, which is so exciting. So if you have ever received a Mercedes car program, would you drop Mercedes in the comments? Because I know I have some stylists on here who have. And this is eligible for everyone from their very first leadership level here at Park Lane. Now, I belong to a company where I earn 9 cars. But here, And I believe, let's see, I believe at my 8th month or my 9th month, I earned my very first Mercedes car program bonus. What? Which was so exciting to me. So, so exciting. And so, which is amazing. So it's really out there for everybody. And I'm no different from you. I had to learn from the very beginning. And so here we are. So you can do it, Tracy, for sure. Now, the other thing that I love is we have 2 trips a year here in Park Lane. Now, a lot of direct selling companies offer trips, which is amazing. But here's what's unique about Park Lane. First of all, they don't just do one, they do 2. Second of all, you can bring your family, which is incredible. Okay. So you can bring, anybody in your family. You can bring your children. And so that was hugely attractive to me because in my other companies, while I've earned trips, I have not been able, I've earned it for me. And that's been it. And I could never have brought my daughter. And so that is so exciting. So if you've earned a trip with Park Lane, will you go ahead and say that in the comments? I want to know who's earned a trip and tell me where you've earned a trip to. Some people are going to probably write a couple of locations, which is super inspiring. I will tell you, I just earned my very first trip with Park Lane. Yes, I've been here 11 months and I just completed the trip last week. And so I am going to Cancun in March of 2026. And I'm so excited. So if you're seeing something consistent here, right? What am I doing? I've chased the carrots. And in 11 months, I've earned all that free jewelry, earned a Mercedes car program, and earned a trip. Like, what? Like, I had to work a long time and really hard in other companies. And here I am because we are a plug and play system. I've been able to do that here, and you can too. Okay. We also have a direct appoint program. Now, this to me is brilliance because my mentor said to me, you need to check this out, Wendy. And because she knew I had decades of experience in another company, actually 2 other companies, like I said, I was able to sit with one of our vice presidents because I have experience in direct selling. Now you can come in and from the ground up do all the same things. I had to do all the same things that you would have to do. So just know I didn't have any, that wasn't anything like they just handed me Park Lane on a silver platter. No, I had to learn the business just like you. Okay. But what they do is they recognize talent. So if you know someone that has leadership experience in this industry, you want to go ahead and you want to invite them to listen to what we have here as well. So I was able to enter Park Lane at a lateral position to what I have experienced in another company. And that is super exciting. So the analogy that I hear used often is if you're a president of a bank, you're not going to go to another bank and be a bank teller, right? That's expectation isn't there. So you want to go ahead and you want to just know that here they are going to recognize and reward experience, and that is through our direct appoint program. So I feel very honored and privileged that we have this, and I was able to utilize that. We also have a fundraising program, and I love that Park Lane knows how to fundraise. So if that is near and dear to your heart, know that Park Lane will give back and write a check 50% to any organization that's a 501c3. You can also party on your own and give part of your profits. But I also love that Park Lane, when something is happening in our world and it needs to be addressed twice now, maybe even 3 times, actually 3 times since I've been here, they have taken a piece of jewelry and they have dropped the price and made it available to all of us so we could go and market it and raise money for a cause and know that that money was going to go towards that cause. So we are amazing about fundraising as well. And so that is super exciting to be part of a company with heart, right? To be part of a company with heart. So why now? Why now? Because it's today. Because it's today. And I have to tell you that from my heart that there will never be a perfect day or a perfect time. I'm going to tell you why now in like some other terms, like what I would about why like statistical terms. But I want to tell you from my heart, there's never ever not all the lights are going to be green on your way to the grocery store. At the same time, or you're going to hit a stop sign, you're going to hit something that's going to stop you. But if you're hearing things that are like, ooh, maybe me, right? I want you to hear that as I finish these last thoughts, okay? So, first of all, we are in Park Lane. And if you're a stylist here and you agree with me, you can say so in the comments, but we really are at a point, even at 70 years, we are at the point, the tipping point of even more explosive growth. Like we are just getting started and so many things at 70 years, and we're not going anywhere, and we're not going affiliate, and we're not, all the things that could possibly go wrong. They're going right here in Park Lane. Okay. Now, I will tell you, since the pandemic, we don't like to talk about that probably very much, but a lot of companies saw explosive growth and then closed their doors. Well, we continue to have measurable growth. We had over 400% growth since the pandemic. And I can tell you, year over year and month over month, we are continuing to grow. And I know Megan is here and some other people that may even have statistics that they can share in the comments about the type of explosive growth that we've had. But it's fun because whether you're running your business online or in person or sitting in a pedicure chair and selling jewelry like I've done, it doesn't matter because you can be part of this explosive growth too, right? And I know that there are people out there. I'm one of those people. We're a two-income family. And actually, if I think about it, we're more than a two-income family. There's two of us here. But my husband works two jobs, technically two full-time jobs, which is crazy, but it's because he's a professor of aviation and he flies for a regional airline. And I sell Park Lane, right? And I'm a leader here. And I also am a music minister. And last week I was like full-time music ministry. Okay. But I share that with you because if somebody said to me, should I have an additional layer of incomes in these economic times? Should I have it when economic times are great? And should I have it when economic times are not great? And my thing is, and I said this to my daughter as I wrote the last payment to her college because of this industry this month. Yes, you should always have an additional layer of income. And so, who was singing next to me all this past week? My daughter, who has a voice of an angel, and she is going to go and continue to use that. And I say that to you because this can be your additional layer of income. The fun, the simple, the sizzle, right? Of jewelry, the compliment creator, the thing that brings joy, right? So this is a better way. This could be a solution, right? And it matters who you start with. And Park Lane could be a great start. And if this is the continuation of a story, if you've been in this industry, this is the best chapter. And for me, this is the last chapter. And you can be part of that too. So you can supplement that income. We've got all the tools. We've got all the systems, right? You can get started immediately, start booking parties, earning extra income, right? We're going to give you all the training. Since I've been a part of this industry for nearly 30 years, I can tell you there have been some calls that I've sat on, not here, not in Park Lane. True story. I'd put my hand on a Bible where I've been like, is this call over yet? And I've never, ever, ever in 11 months felt that way. Everything I feel that we do, a level of excellence like no other, it is also so pivotal to what's happening in our week. It is current training. It is important training, and school is never out for the pro. So I am not exempt to show up, right? Because when I show up for myself, right, amazing things are going to happen. So you can start earning the income next week. Okay. We're going to give you all the training, all the scripts, all the images. I'm not a Canva girl. I don't know how to make images, but it's all done for me. Okay. And if you have zero experience, what's really exciting is you're going to be able to go ahead and figure out how to, right? How to work with your mentor to make the very best possible scenarios for you. Okay, for you. So you don't have to worry about scripting. You don't have to worry about the words. You don't have to worry about anything because it's all plug and play. We've got everything you need. Everything is here for you. Now, in the comments, well, my friends, drop the prices for our amazing kits. There are 3 kits that are offered to help get you stylist, to help you get started, and your stylist can share them with you. And right now we have a special offer where you can actually receive an extra $100 for free in your kit, which is crazy good because who doesn't want more free jewelry? Said no one ever. Okay. So it's like going to be an extra $100 with this massive value that you get within each kit, because each kit is not just, oh, it's at 129 and I get $129 of jewelry. Oh no. Oh no. We want to make sure you have enough so that when you get started, whether it be the small, the medium, or the large kit, it doesn't matter because everything else you need is here. You just have to bring the best you to the table. Heart open, ears open, eyes open, right? Because then you can go as far as you want, okay, with those 3 kits. So a lot of people will say, can I do it? And I just want to say, yes, you can. Yes, you can do it. You absolutely can do this, okay? Park Lane is for everybody. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter, right? I could have told you that I worked for a newspaper or that I am a horticulturalist. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. I could have won an Emmy. Who knows? It doesn't matter, you guys. It doesn't matter. It is literally for everyone. It is for everyone. And I think that it is so important to not be worried about the age and stage of your life, because this industry worked for me in my 20s when I was single and I wasn't, single, no kids, hardly any responsibility. But I needed a friend network when I lived in Texas and didn't know anybody. It worked for me in my 30s, married, raising a family. In my 40s, right? It worked for me, right? And I was grateful. It paid for competitive dance. It did all the things. And now in my 50s, as my nest is emptying, right? And I want to tell you, don't worry about tech. Don't worry about all of the things. We are here. If there's something that's like, it's techie and you don't know how to do it, there's literally information on how to do that thing. Like, it's crazy. They've thought of everything. Now, we have men and women here who use this to supplement their retirement. So that's me. That's my next thing, right? And to take my husband on trips and to do the things and to take my daughter. Okay. Now, some are going to have young children and pay for the extra in their lives. I've been there and done that. Okay. And then we have stylists who have extremely professional careers, and they are working this in the nooks and cranny of all of that around their demanding jobs. And this is like their fun outlet, right? And we have people who've never sold jewelry. That was me. We have people that have no direct selling experience at all. And we have people that come in who don't even wear jewelry or like jewelry per se, but see what this can do for their lives. Okay. Because it's a simple business that anybody can do. And there's honestly never been a better time to get started. And we're going to help you. So maybe you need to try us on. Maybe you need to date us. Maybe you just came tonight to get the free bracelet. Let me make sure I show these again because they are amazing. All that bling, 40 carats of bling to wear on your wrist. Maybe you came just for that. And I hope you're going to be filling out that Google form. Okay. Fill out that Google form. But I want to encourage you to know that we can be the warm blanket you're looking for. We can fit just right, like the perfect fit, right? We can be that thing that just glides over you and just makes you look and feel amazing, right? And we are definitely not one size fits all. I'm not going to be brass enough to say that, but we are special. And I think that you deserve to check us out, to try it. Because what do you have to lose, right? You buy this incredible kit, you get an extra $100 for free right now, and it could change whatever it is in your life that you're looking for, right? With the right people at the right time in the right place. who are going to hit momentum. So I'm going to be a little bit bold. I'm going to say welcome. I'm going to say welcome. And I hope that that is you, right? Yes. Do you have a friend, right? Be the talent scout. Be the talent scout. If you're like, oh, it's not for me, be a hostess. Be a hostess with the mostest. But I know if like you were like me and going, I'm not looking for anything, I'm not really sure. It has been an amazing 11 months. And I can't wait for it to be 11 years. Like, think about that, right? That will be amazing. And so I know that, and if this is your night, which I hope it is, I hope it's a yes, it's my night. I want you to find me. I want you to message me and tell me I'm doing this, right? Because we'll do it together, which is exciting. So with that, before I go, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to give you the code word. The code word's graduation, because my daughter graduates in 26 days and it's heavily on my mind. Graduation. Okay. Graduation. And here's what I want you to know. I'm not asking you, not even for a day, to give up what you love. If you are in a career that you love, if you have a life that you love, I am just asking you to add something else that I know that you will love to your life, right? It will bring you joy, it will bring you balance, and you will have so much fun doing that. And yes, not even just sheer ladies, but grit and grace ladies, if you take that screenshot, take the screenshot and get that picture in. But I'm so excited. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for saying congratulations. I know I hate that I don't see all the comments because, when there's like 300 comments, I get distracted, but motivated. I love it. Yes. Decider show. Yes. There's so many reasons, Joel. There's so many reasons. I know that Megan and the other amazing stylists here have come and brought great information to you tonight. And, it's just been my honor and privilege to be with you. So, stylists, thank you for bringing these amazing women and people that you love and care about. And if you are a guest tonight, please just know that the women who asked you thought the world of you. And so for some of them, they might have been a little bit nervous to ask you because you are so amazing. And so, but keep the conversation going or ask for that link, not just the Google form, but ask for the link for how you too can become a Park Lane stylist tonight. So thank you everybody so much and have a blessed week and love to you all. Take care. Bye.